and Dustin, and you mentioned Unadilla. They mentioned Unadilla. Like, there's a chance you might do the last 3 here, or what are we thinking?
I don't know about 3.
Okay. Okay.
I'm kind of shooting for Unadilla. It's not like 100% thing yet, but I think it'd be great to get a gate drop or 2 in, because I'm also prepping myself for Motocross of Nations, so I don't want to go, especially also into SMX. Like, I don't want to go in cold turkey. And I'm not worried about showing up and not having the intensity. I don't. But I still think it'd be good to get a gate drop in.
I mean, last year you're the only guy to qualify faster than Jet Lawrence when you showed up off the couch. You're fine.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, Kenny, that you were thinking SMX points, but no, this is the Des Nations thing and a gate drop thing. Whatever SMX points or whatever for you.
Yeah, I'm actually landlocked. Like, it doesn't matter if I race or not. I think I'm in 12th right now.
No,
Somebody told me, but
well, seating wise, you get seated, right? With those bonus points to start. So.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, even if I race 3 races, I don't think I can move forward, and I also can't drop off if I don't race. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 12th no matter what. So, and I think then when you go into SMX, you get points right from 1 to 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters whether I race or not.
Okay.
Points wise.
And so Des Nations is a go for Germany. You're in?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, for sure. I've been having my sights on that for a long time. I really enjoyed last year. It was an experience. Obviously, in the last few years, like, when was the last one before that? Maybe 2018, which was a disaster.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Red
Bud. Jesus,
Yeah, and then I went there last year, and that was just an experience on a whole nother level. Granted, the venue isn't very big anyways there, but then all the people, it's just a very special, very unique race, and I enjoyed it a lot. So as soon as I was done with that last year, I'm like, man, I want to come back next year, especially since it is in Matterley Basin. That's like one of my all-time favorite tracks. I haven't been there in ages.
The track is great.
I really love that track, and I really want to go.
I just hope it doesn't rain, because England in that time of year.
Well, when I did MS Nations there, we had a great qualifying day, and then it flooded the next day, and it was miserable.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So Unadilla, just because you've won there before, you like the track, and then get a gate drop. It maybe.
Yeah, the crazy part is everybody always says, if you look at the results, yes, when you look back, I always done good there, and but I don't go there saying, Unadilla, like, that's my track, I can win. Whether this was Butts Creek right now or if it's Ironman, whatever it would be, I would go. It's not just because it's Unadilla.
Yep.
I needed this time to get ready. I need to get fitter, stronger. I need to set the bike up. My leg, in a racing circumstance, like with how my knee was before, and I just wasn't putting my leg down, and I don't want to, make 3 steps back either. And so I just want to make sure that it's ready. And now with the 2 weekends off, and there's 3 more weeks to go, I feel like I can make a solid step forward again. And I don't want to show up and get my ass handed to me. That's for sure. I don't know where I will be or how it's going to be. I just want to try hard, and I know I can do good. I know I have it in me, but my mentality, and which is a good thing. I am not going to a race and get my ass handed to me. So I want to try hard. I'll be able to.
I don't think Starley. You would. I think you'd be fine.
We're on the line with literally one of the most talented riders in the history. You're fine.
You'd be fine. Don't even stress that.
Yeah. But people always, you come back from injury, and everybody always puts it there like it is so easy. But after not doing it or not doing anything for 8-9 weeks, and then you start back up, and you're like, oh boy, like, it's just everybody always makes it so easy. And yes, it is in me, but it's, I don't know. I treat it with a lot of respect coming back and stuff, So
you're a racer, though. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
What's your take on what's going on this summer? Jet exits. Chase gets to a new level, and 7 in a row, and Hunter has an off weekend. He's not feeling it. What's your take on the 450 class a little bit this summer, watching it from the couch?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched every single race, and it's been, I'm normally not for watching it so much, but I've also made the mistake in the past, like especially more so my 2017 injury. I really secluded myself from the sport because first off, I didn't know if I was going to be able to ride again, race again. So then I was just gone, didn't pay attention to anything. I didn't watch it. And then I came back, and it felt like I was gone for 5 years. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to watch it every weekend. I watch MXGP every weekend too. And, I mean, it's fun. It's exciting. Obviously, Chase has had some really outstanding rides. But it's just always like when you look at it, right, it's like, does Chase ride the same when Jet is there? or is it?
No,
like,
we don't.
You know what I mean?
We don't
Like,
think so. Us experts don't think so. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like they found something on the bike. Like, I have to say that Chase's bike is probably one of the best looking ones out there in my eyes.
Yeah.
Tracks well, it's got good traction, it doesn't look harsh, like he can do whatever he wants with it, and then, you combine that with being strong and fit, it's just lethal,
Yeah. No, we think he's the fittest guy in the class. I mean, right now. Do you agree?
Yeah, but
He's
for sure, he's just big built. Like, I think he's just got natural power, and he's motivated too and everything. So I would say he's definitely one of the strongest and the fittest guys, but it's not always the needed to win, if that makes any sense. Because if you look at Jet or Hunter, like, they're both fit and fit enough to do it, but I don't think they're as strong and as fit as Chase. You know, so there's just always a fine line between, Chase can handle a lot. He's a tank like that. You know what I mean? He can handle a lot of work, and that shows. But there's just there's a fine line between doing just enough and doing too much and overdoing it. Even if you can handle it, right?
Yep.
Like, it doesn't mean you always have to put in, a shit ton of work, because once you're at that level and with racing every weekend, you're just not going to lose any fitness. I think it's more important to be in a good rhythm of training, like during the week, have your shit together, and I think that's more important than trying to go out every day and doing the most training you can possibly do,
Right.
Yeah. Do you, it's something I've been kind of wondering, but do you think you'll ever go back and race like an MXGP at maybe Tunchental or kind of anywhere over there before you're done?
Yeah, I was, you know what, a couple of years ago, I was actually like really thinking about like going over there and racing a full season. I didn't want to do just one.
Yeah.
I feel like you need one season to kind of find your feet. And granted, I've traveled so much around the world now, whether it's WSX or whatever, then I'm kind of like comfortable with kind of just living out of bags and showing up and like working on the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like how that would be over there. And then, but I would have committed to 2 years, because I want to get 1 year under my belt and 1 year to, go for a championship or something like that, especially when you can just focus on one category, not supercross and motocross, and you just, you do just all those motocross races. I feel like I would have really had a chance, but I don't know, that kind of fizzled out. It'd be a big move with family and everything. And then, I'm pretty content with what I got going here right now. But even last year I was like, man, maybe I should just go over there cold turkey and race a race. But I'm not saying that I won't do it, but I'm also, I just.
Tunchental would go
I think
nuts.
that would be like a fluke decision. You know what I mean? Like really, like, I'd be like, oh, I kind of want to go and then put everything in motion, but I'm not really planning on it by any means.
Getting back to training, Peter Park, a guy that you've worked with before. I don't know if you're still working with him or not. Trains Chase, trains Levi, and both guys won Millville. Millville was probably the most humid race of the year, and I had another trainer point that out to me that, hey, both guys that Peter trains is what dominated today and everything else. And there's so much talk of training in our sport with Alden, of course, and his legacy and different trainers and different guys and who's doing what. And Swanepoel gets a lot of credit for the star guys and such, but you've really he's helped you a lot. He's helping Chase. What's it like training with Peter and dealing with what he puts on you and all of that?
Oh, Peter is great. I still talk to him. He was out during the off season, and then we did some gym workouts at my gym and whatnot. So great guy. And I never went away, like me and Blake, really, right? Like we never went away from that method of training by any means, because I think that's the proper way. And I was able to tell on my body, like with doing the right amount of strength training, what it is for, being stable. Like I can tell big time when I'm stable. I have a lot less nagging pain, if you will, like you can take a beating and not be, and not just wake up the next day and like your back's hurting and this is out and you're out of whack. And I really value my body work a lot. Like I'm very persistent with it, like getting PT work done and stuff like that. I've worked with a guy here. He's an osteopath for, 10 years almost. And I do a lot of exercises from him as well. So, I loved working with Peter. It was a great thing. But I'm really content. Like, I do all my own stuff. Like, I don't, I do all my own stuff. I'm just learning after the years. And also when I do that, I'm very invested in it. And I last year during the summer especially, I was able to use myself as a bit of a like a guinea pig, I guess,
Okay,
you know,
yeah,
and I was
sure.
messing around, and I would go up in the gym very frequently by myself, on my own, and work on some stuff because I wanted to see what it would change, and that's what I've enjoyed a lot. And I think I just got tired of being told what to do and having to listen to somebody. So that's why I chose to go essentially the route that I'm doing, you know, doing this on my own. But a lot of people kind of need that person in their ear, you know, what do you need to do today? Because when it comes to gym workout too, like I do my own exercises, and it really, when you think about it and you break it down, it is not rocket science.
No.
For every push, I do a pull. I like my hamstrings strong. You know, I don't stretch too much because I don't want to be noodled out. You need to be tight and ready to go and explosive. So when you take the simplicity of working out and training and wrap your head around it and what it should feel like, then yeah, you can really create a badass program for yourself, you know, and might take a little bit of time, but you also need to be invested in learning and what to do and why and how and do everything properly, you know.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're hearing is Hunter is a little bit, and I'm not putting this on Johnny O or anything else, but Hunter's a little tired out. He's a little petered out, right? And I'm guessing, look, it's his first year 450, and Johnny O knows what he's doing, but also a guy like you or Chase are like, look, this is how our 450 class is. This is what's going to happen. And you might be a little wiser on what your body can handle or what it should handle at different points in the year because you've done it before, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like I said, it's just such a fine line though, because you know, you want to during the week you want to recover, but not doing anything is not right either. And it's the same with the gym work. Like gym work is not necessarily needed during the summer and racing moto, but that doesn't mean cut it out completely. You know, that's where I feel like I've gotten good at doing just the right amount, fire up all the muscle groups that you want to fire up and keep those, you know, explosive and ready to go. Because if you cut stuff out completely, you might not notice it in a week or 2 or 3, but like down the road, you just get, like I said, nagging pain and little stuff and tired. So, yeah, it's definitely about, you know, and riding is, I have noticed before, because I would go up to to Santa Barbara for boot camp, and I would go a week or 2 early, and the amount of volume I was able to do while not riding a dirt bike is unbelievable. And then you start riding, and then you really realiise
even Supercross,
how much that actually
Supercross,
yeah, even Supercross. It's just a whole nother level. Like we have really high heart rate. You know, it's not even just the cardio side of things, like the compression. Like you need to be strong, right? So when I would go up there ahead of time before even starting to ride, it's just crazy the amount of work I was able to do. I was able to recover and come back and do it the next day. And then you start riding. Well, you have to cut that, you know, borderline in half almost, you know, and you're still tired then the next day. So it really, the sport it's a gnarly sport. That's just how it is.
When you're watching the Nationals, like you said, you've watched every race, and Chase pushed back on what James was saying about not looking ahead, and Chase explained it, and a couple photos out there validated what Chase was saying. But then there's also, you know, he didn't see the finish flag this weekend, so maybe James had a point. But my point is I think James is really good. Right or wrong, I want to hear what he has to say. And for you, Kenny, when you're listening to Ricky this weekend or James, are you just like, whatever, guys, or do you listen and be like, okay, all right, like where are you at with sort of the analysts of the sport? Because I feel like you're one of the smarter dudes out there when it comes to the riding and the sport. So where are you at with sort of the analysts of our sport and respecting, you know, that they have a lot of wins?
Yeah. So I saw and heard about and checked out the whole helmet thing, but it's everybody wears their helmet differently. If you look at Jet, and that's how I used to run it too, it really depends the helmet, but you pull your mouthpiece. Like I like running mine pretty far down in general. So, and then to me, it seems like the Alpine Star helmet in general, it kind of sits a lot more that way. But Hunter, on the other hand, he wears this chin bar a lot further up. So, you know what I mean? It could be deceiving. Like the helmet could be pointed down, but you're looking ahead. So it's, I don't know. I think the thing is with Chase that he is very in the moment and just what's in front of him, you know. And I think that's probably the problem. Like he not that he doesn't know what is going on around him, but like in that very moment, like I think he literally just looks at his front fender and down, but which ultimately comes back to like looking down. But I think just him as a rider, because it's happened multiple times, it just can be deceiving with the helmet position in my eyes. You know what I mean? And then the checkered flag this weekend, I was actually wondering the same thing, because he hammered over that finish line jump and landed, and it looked like he kept going. And I'm like, wait, did he even see the checkered flag? But that could just, he may have just been in the zone. He didn't want to let go and have anybody come too close to him. So, yeah, I've done that before, too, where you kind of just almost keep going.
I don't think he got the last lap flag, though. I do think there was a screw-up with that.
No, it was checkered.
No, I don't think he got the last lap.
Oh, the white flag?
I think there was a white flag screw-up, which means that he didn't see that.
Very easily could.
Yeah.
But isn't your mechanic usually put like one lap or something like
Chase
that?
Chase is notorious for never reading the pit board.
That makes sense.
Bro, me too, though. Like, if you look at Supercross and where the mechanics areas are, I literally don't ever, I'm like, hey, Billy, I'm sorry, but I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
And then when you're racing in the moment, like, I don't even want to look at the pit board. You know, once you have a little bit of time, a little bit of gap front to back, and you somehow can see it, and then you're like, oh, it's only 5+1. You're like, oh, that's sweet. You know, I don't want to constantly look at the board and see that I'm halfway and it seems so long. Like, I'm racing, you know what I mean? So, but on the announcer side of things,
where are you at with that?
I'm more so sometimes blown away in Supercross, like them not seeing. I don't know, maybe I just have my eyes everywhere, but sometimes I see stuff that's like happening that is not even like being announced. I'm like, whoa, did you see that? And this and that, and it's not even being talked about. I think that's more so the case than like making wrong statements, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of bashing going on with the whole commentating thing, dude. It's unbelievable, you know? It's a little bit sad. I really like Ricky. I like Langston in the booth back in the day. I really like Weege, obviously. I don't really have anything against any of those guys, but then you see some of the comments and just the constant nagging people, you know? It's wild.
Can't please everyone.
You can't. It's a hard job to do. It ain't easy. I've done some of it on a lower level. And, like, it is what it is. I like James. Like I said, I don't always agree with him, but I like him going out on a limb more than Ricky and telling me more what he thinks. I just like that part of it where, like I said, I don't always agree, but I'm like, hey, man, you know? Yeah.
Maybe some of his analytics, maybe James is still a little bit more connected to riding a dirt bike and what it feels. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I like all of those guys, and you can definitely overanalyze things too. Like, I've noticed that with James as well, right? Like, it just down to the T, and I'm just like, bro, we're just freaking racing. Like, we do our best to like keep our head on our shoulders and you know, make the proper decisions. But like, you can definitely overanalyze stuff, and you know, it's really look into it in depth, but I'm like, man, just keep it simple.
Sometimes after the race, I'll ask you or a rider a question. I'll be like, hey, man, I noticed like the lap before you went inside there and you didn't triple, you doubled and then tripled, and then were you setting that up for later? And the guy's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll overanalyze it totally, you know, so I'll get a blank look from a rider like, I don't even remember doing that, or, you know, and I'll
Same, or a pass. Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know where I passed him, but anyways.
Yeah. All right, we got Kevin on line one for you. Kevin, welcome to the show. What's your question for Ken Roczen?
Hey, Ken, I'm wondering how you deal with I have a bunch of haters, so I'm wondering how I should deal with that, not just on social media, but in general.
Kenny, have you seen Kenny's social? Yeah.
You stand your ground.
Talk back, baby. Just talk back.
Talk back, you stand your ground, and you believe in what you do and what you say. Like, I was just texting somebody the other day, and I said, give a F about what anybody else thinks. And I know that's hard because we're always served on a silver platter, and it doesn't have to be, you know, a high athlete or whatever. It could be in anything, right? But with social media nowadays, like everybody is being served on the silver platter, and obviously it's very easy to, you know, sit on the couch and talk smack. But dude, you gotta have confidence in what you do and what you believe in. Like, that's just how it is, right? Like, people always have their opinions, but I stand my ground and I'm confident in what I do, and you need to shrug that stuff off. Like, it's just there's no perfect answer for it, you know what I mean? But if you believe in what you do, what you say, and whatnot, then it's so easy for somebody to sit on the couch and talk smack. It's just, you can do it to anybody, you know? And if you let that bother you, and of course it can get under your skin, but I love people always think like, why are you talking back to people? And I'm like, I truly enjoy
Same.
the things that people make. You know what I mean? Like, I want to freaking smash back, and I get joy out of it. It just, even if it takes time out of my day. Like when I enjoy that kind of stuff, that's why I do. That's the only reason why I do it, right? Like if I would hate it and it would piss me off and it would take time away and it just makes me more mad, well then don't do it, you know what I mean? But I just enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Even at my level in the media with this show, like I've come to realize, like, you know, someone will be like, I don't like Justin Starling in studio. Other people will be like, I love Justin Starling. Like, you'll never make everybody happy, so just do what you want. Believe in what you do and make good choices and don't worry about it, because someone won't like it.
Yeah.
There'll be someone that won't like it.
Be vocal about it.
What are the chances that you're back with the Progressive Suzuki team next year? Are we done? Are we back? Are we signing up? Or do we know? Everything's getting hashed out?
No. I am ready for it. You know, I think I don't want to fully restart, and honestly, I haven't really thought that far yet, to be honest.
All right.
I was just so focused on this injury and coming back, and you know, having 2 kids on top of it. You know, because when I come back from riding and I'm tired, my kid wants to throw the frisbee and he wants to go in the pool and he wants to ride the
That's what Courtney does. Courtney does that. Don't worry about it. That's what she does.
Yeah, she does a whole bunch of. I'm basically her third child in the end. Don't forget that. So she's got her hands full with a lot of other stuff too. But yeah, no, I think it's a very smart idea for me. I'm happy where I'm at, and I don't see that changing. You know,
World Supercross came out.
You never know. Like there's nothing. Let's put this. There's nothing set in stone or anything yet. But I'm obviously mindful of when you go elsewhere in a new bike and then you just restart, and you could nail it on the head, and the bike is great and whatever, but it's just a whole lot of stuff to deal with that I don't know if I want to. But
listen,
you know.
I was in Italy, and a lot of those Italian bikes that's coming out, they're talking big over there. So that's all. I just heard a rumor. So.
Well, that's a whole other story. So,
hey, SMX came out with their schedule. You're contracted to do that. Looking forward to it, and you know, I mean, that's something you're gonna have to start ramping up for after the last SMX, right? SMX.
Yeah, and actually, that's another reason why I was careful with like racing 3 or 4 or the last 3, because you know, I might be, you know, not sitting on the couch, but I might be on the couch right now. But I have a very busy schedule coming up. There's a couple of other races too that I can potentially do, and you know, the talks with Paris again, that whole deal. So I'm going to be busy later on. So I just don't want to get ahead of myself and you know, get into a point where I'm not fried, but you know, travel, like it takes a big toll, and I have a lot of races coming up, SMX and then even beyond that. So
yeah, because if you did SMX, then you have 3, then you have 4 World Supercross, then you'd have Paris in there, Motocross Nation. And if you added 3 outdoors in, that's a lot of racing.
Yeah,
that's
really
a lot of race. That's basically a whole other season on itself, and that ends. You know, you'd have December left until you go again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the only thing that where my head's at is, you know, I get in shape right now, go racing, be in race shape, and then when I'm done in beginning of December or however long it goes, I don't even know how long it goes. I think it goes almost into December. Well, then I'm pretty much ready to go, and I'm race ready. So I'll actually be able to take December to kind of reboot a little bit and take a foot on the brake, because if you just keep stuff up a little bit, you can you won't fall out of shape in a month, you know what I mean? So I think mix it up a little bit, ride and do some more mellow stuff, maybe go on a couple of vacations with the fam, and that'll be a good reboot before, instead of being in boot camp mode until like the end of December and grinding and all that shit. So
because like
I think it'll actually work out.
Yeah, I'm going to do hopefully Paris again, and then I'll do the German Supercross again, just to stay racing, you know, just before you go into the season. Like just those gate drops are big, and I've always liked doing the German stuff too, so it'll be nice to go back to that. How much longer do you think like you'll be able to race? Like what's your goal, like year-wise, or are you just kind of going year by year, and you know, the year that you don't enjoy it, you'll kind of step out, because you kind of seem to only be getting better?
That's a good question. Sometimes I feel like I want to do it a lot longer. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to do it a lot longer. It really, dude, I don't really know what I want. I don't make quick decisions, you know what I mean? Like, I don't just, you know, just because I'm over it or whatever it may be, I don't just say, oh, I'm done, you know? So it's a touchy subject a little bit. I don't know. I definitely want to do next year still, and I don't know, man. We've had, you know, I might only be 30, but I do still already have quite a few years on my back too. You know what I mean? But You know, I do like the schedule that I have right now. Maybe it'll be a Supercross only deal in the future, and I don't know. But for now, next year for sure. What's beyond that? I really haven't thought that far yet.
Go the Justin Brayton route.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You just
do some
you
traveling.
just never know. When I was last year, when was it? 2020? What are we? 2024, 2023. I was like, man, yeah, I could do this 5 more years, but then you kind of get in a slump sometimes, and you're like, man, maybe I won't do 5 more years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a tough one right now. First, my goal was get this ball rolling again, motivation, get confidence, get strong, and then once you're there, then I can be like, hey, like I do enjoy this, but there's definitely a time and with this injury too where I'm like, man, do I kind of like want to restart this whole thing again and go again? But I obviously can't fully let it go. You know what I mean? So I don't want to make a quick decision and stop and then be mad at myself. So
listen, every racer on your level that I talk to, when they hang it up, they're like, man, I wish I would have stuck around and made some more money at the end. You know, not that money's the factor, but you know,
dude,
there's
think about that. I just turned 30,
right.
And most of those, you know, Ryan and both of the Ryans, 27. Like if I think back 3 years ago, dude, I still felt like I was kind of a baby in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've pushed the age limit now, and it's wild to think about. You're in your mid-20s, late 20s, and all of a sudden you're jobless and you don't know what to do with your time. It's a very dangerous zone to be in, if that makes any sense. You know?
For sure.
Having said that, I'm a busybody, right? Like I have a lot of hobbies. I love surfing. I love mountain biking. Like if I'm done racing, I may go to mountain bike side and I don't know, try to race down, get good on a mountain bike or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Do Red Bull Hardline.
Yeah, exactly right.
Those guys are insane.
Yeah, that's another level.
I'm so out on that.
I watch those Instagram videos of their helmet cams. I'm just like, oh my god,
insane. Yeah,
these guys are nuts. Kenny, thanks for the time, man. As always, thank you. I appreciate the, coming on, jumping on for us. Maybe we'll see you at Unadilla. That'll be awesome. But thank you for the time tonight, buddy.
Well, it's basically it's in your hands. I commented back to you on Instagram because you said you won't, and I said I won't if you don't want me to.
I would love it. I think it's awesome. The sport is better when you're racing, and last year when you came out at High Point and set the quick time and then led laps, we were all like fucking Roczen, dude.
That was my favorite race of the year.
Yeah, we were like fucking this guy, just off the couch. So yeah,
I appreciate
do
it.
it again.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks.
Cool. All right, no worries. Thank you, guys.
See
Bye-bye.
See ya.
That's Ken Roczen, everybody. Brought to you by the folks at renthal.com. Factory chassis parts, by the way. Justin Starling, you've used these mounts many times.
I have.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
You like them?
They're good.
Yep.
Yeah, they're good. I tested them a lot on the Honda, just trying different things with them.
Do you use both uppers and lowers, or
I did one of each, kind of like I tried just the top, tried just the fronts, tried them both together. I ended up liking both together. It just seemed like it was a little bit better. I haven't got a set for the KTM yet, but hopefully here soon.